All right, so here I am in Desmos. So I'm going to do it in two ways. All right, so the first way that you can do this, you can, if you add a plus here, you can put a table. And then this table, so I can put these values in. So 1, 1. So this is 2, 2. This is 3, 5. This is 4, 3. And 5, 4.5. Notice that it plots it for you as well. So you see that on the right hand side there. So there's the plot. So that's the table itself. And now here's the beautiful thing about this. When you set it up as a table, so notice there's an x1 and y1. So those are the variables that we have. In Desmos, you can literally say simply y, okay? So subscript 1. And by the way, subscript, okay, the way that you do it is, okay, you use, okay, you're inputting it, so y, and then you press this, okay, on your keyboard, and then if you press 1, so that will put a subscript like this, okay, that you'll see. So that's how I am doing it in here. Now, so next, most of the time when we try to plot, we say y1 equals and then whatever we're trying to plot. But now we're trying to approximate it. So we put a tilde. And then that tilde basically is telling Desmos to start approximating from y1. Okay, so y1 is my output. And then x1, but I want to approximate it as, okay, a slope. So m, okay, is my slope. X subscript 1, notice, plus b. So I want to know what is the best with the y-intercept. And it literally gives me, so within here, notice that it gives me, maybe let me get rid of this entire thing so you can see it. So it plots the line for me. So that's 1, which is amazing. Okay, so I wasn't too far off in my original one that I did by hand. But it actually gives us, okay, r squared, right? It gives us r. So, we have our linear correlation. Notice it's pretty strong there. It gives us the parameters m and b. Notice 0.8 and 0.7, which is exactly what I got using it by hand, but of course it took a long time. And then notice it gives us residuals. So it remembers the residuals in between and it can plot them for you. So if I do this, this plots the residuals. So one thing about the residuals are always, okay, so they're positive if they are above your line and they're negative if they're below the line. So the red dots that you see, and also on the table on the left hand side, you can see the residuals there, right? Negative 0.5, negative 0.3, so that means those points are below the line of best fit. Then it has 1.9, so that point is above, okay? And then the other ones are also negative. And then, if you would sum them up, like if you sum it all up, you should see, okay, that basically what you're going to get is 0 out of those residuals because you're minimizing least squares, right? So that's one of the constraints, and indeed that's what you will get. So this is amazing that Desmos does it, and it does it so fast, and you can find out exactly those values. Another way of doing exactly the same thing, you can create, okay, so instead of doing a table, I think a table is a little bit better, but you can create a list of your items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say this is my first list. I'm going to remove these, okay, so that they're not there. And then I have B equals, so those are my Y values, 1, 2, 5, 3, 4.5. Just please put them in the correct order. And now you can do the same thing. So you know how we did y1 tilde? So now our y is our b values. Tilde, this is our, with a slope we want to approximate from the list of A, and then we want to have a y-intercept. And it will give us the same values. The only thing is when you do a list, it doesn't actually allow you to plot the residuals. So there's no button there for the residuals. While here, there was a nice button where we basically plotted it out. So that's what we had. Okay, but the lines are the same and everything that it gives you is the same. You can, of course, get E2, so it's stored. So in this, the residuals E subscript 2, so it has 5 elements that we have, and we can certainly plot it. So if we wanted to plot it, we could on our own. The only thing is now it's a list, so you can plot it against X for all of those values. So you can do something like this. Okay, if you would be putting this in there, you know, it would have been A, because those are at the values of X that you want, and then the residuals themselves, and now it plots this. So that's how you can do that. So this is amazing, and you can do it for anything. So this linear regression, finding this line, okay, is awesome on Desmos. Desmos, you know, huge thumbs up on this. All right. Thanks for watching this video, and we will see you in future ones. Bye, everybody.